Good morning, all of you. Can you hear me? Please confirm. Are you able to see editorial? This is not today's editorial. Today's editorial is full of only political news for the elections. So that is not important for our exams that we will not do. So it's a word, I think it's an 8th March or 9th March. So clear signals. I think there's an editor called Clear Signals. What is it talking about? India and China must take on board global currents that could reshape the ties. So India and China need to take on the global currents. Means they have to become more global. Means they need to become more participating in the international arena. Okay, that is what they are saying. Because now the era of US is getting over, Russia is already over, UK is over. The era of emerging countries, China is coming, Germany is also coming up, India of course. So China claims that USA Indo-Pacific strategy is aiming to create an Indo-Pacific version of NATO. Okay, see, the USA has always been telling that we are having an Indo-Pacific strategy. What is the Indo-Pacific strategy? Is to counter China. Very simply put, to counter China. So they'll have their forces from the coast of USA to the coast of China. Okay, so Indo-Pacific strategy. Okay, and they are saying that in the Indian Pacific version, Pacific version of NATO. See, NATO was created against Russia. Okay, now a lot of things are there against China, not just Indo-Pacific strategy. Under Indo-Pacific strategy, we have got Quad. Please write down this word Quad. We had AUKUS. Okay, all these are already there. Okay, so Indo-Pacific standard version of NATO is what they are saying. Okay, is not new. Indeed, even as long as 15 years ago, during the first iteration of the now revived Australia, India, Japan, that is Quad. Okay, Beijing warned of a Asian NATO. Okay, it is also sometimes in the exam hall. In the exam hall, there will be a question like, what is the Asian NATO? Okay, or what is the India Pacific? All this refers to the Quad and AUKUS. Okay, Quad, India is a member. Please write down this. This is a possible question. Who are the members of Quad? These are the members. It's actually an extension of the Malabar exercise. We had a Malabar exercise. India and US was engaged. Then it got extended to a full-fledged forum. Okay, like a SARC or something. Okay. But thing is, Quad, different perceptions are. India is saying that it is just a peaceful purpose. It is not a military alliance. Okay. It is just to have a forum. Okay, but US is making it as a military. That is where India that no, we are not going to become a part of any military alliance. Okay, that is where removing India, they started AUKUS. Okay, and this Australia will be there. Then this will be there. What is that? UK will be there. Okay, I think I have marked spelling wrong here. This should be sorry. AUKUS should be spelling should be what is that? AUKUS. That means Australia, UK, and USA. Okay. Something like that. Okay, let me see. It will be here somewhere. Okay, which never materialized. Okay, which of course never materialized because India was not willing to join a military. Okay. Latest statement does, however, assume significance in the current global context and aimed at crisis in Ukraine. Speaking of Beijing doing US of stopping geopolitical rivalry by forming exclusive clubs. Okay, they are creating exclusive clubs that is known. Again, the US is known for it. So in the US will create these military clubs, military alliances. That is how they survive. He said that strengthening the Five Eyes intelligence alliance. Okay, so AUKUS spelling is this is what. Okay, please correct it. Okay, that is A for Australia, U for UK, and USA. Okay, AUKUS. Okay, how to pronounce this? And tightening bilateral military alliances because US will be giving more submarines to Australia. Okay, UK and all. That is the thing. So how India looks at the AUKUS is actually against India's interest also, because these forces are going to come in Indian Ocean. They are coming very near to India. So India is also not happy with this. Okay. So AUKUS basically is without India, but it is becoming a military alliance. So it can be considering the Quad, AUKUS can be more closer to the NATO version. You can say. In recent weeks, Beijing has repeatedly blamed NATO for crisis. That is true. Okay, that is perfectly true. Okay, the crisis in Ukraine is not Russia. People, if I even ask a vote, who is responsible for Ukraine crisis or Ukraine war, everybody will say Russia, but it's not Russia. See, it is because of the USA, because of the NATO. Okay, NATO going and just saying that we'll give you membership, or US is provoking Russia, saying that you touch Ukraine, we are there behind them and all. But after something happened, USA could not enter there. Isn't it? They're afraid of directly engaging the Russian forces. So this you keep in mind if you are getting into interview. If they're asking who is responsible or whom to be blamed for the NATO crisis, then of course the answer is USA and NATO. While claiming to stay neutral, it has moved to reform ties with Russia. Who India? India tries to be neutral, but we are little closer to Russia. Even though we are neutral, we are saying, but we are closer because a lot of some UN this one no resolutions were there in which India abstained from voting. India abstained from voting. India abstained from voting. So India is close to Russia because India see that any other power coming closer to India's neighbor also same thing. Like so that is why India is always saying we should take into consideration the security concern of all the countries. Okay, it is just saying that because NATO is coming to Ukraine means it is affecting Russia's security as well. Okay, which Beijing on Monday describes rock solid when the two countries leaders met in the summit. China backed Russia on its concern. Okay, India is also backing it. Okay, in this page you can say India and China are in the same page. Okay, in this issue. Okay, we are supporting Russia. Okay, NATO should not get expanded further. Okay, and those things. But another problem with this, see, NATO was almost a dead body. Okay, because Russia is not a dead body. The NATO was created against Russia. Russia is no more a big threat. When Russia is no more a big threat, what happens? We don't need NATO at all. Okay, but now Russia is attacking and it is becoming this one. There's a revival in the cause for NATO. So write down that. Okay, the Russian war attack on Ukraine has revived the survival of NATO. That is. But anyway, it cannot be now. The message is very clear. NATO cannot expand further into the Europe is also very clearly now demarcated. Russia returned the favor of both criticizing the US administration. Beyond their already deep political and economic linkages, who Russia and China and all very close linkages. Russia and they have a communism. Okay, Russia and this one have got military alliance. They have got a lot of. They are very. In fact, if they both together, they can take on. Then they can take on any powers in the world. Okay, so that is the thing. So please write down. Russia and USA has got deep political and economic linkages. Okay, their mere concern the US. They are always critical against the US also. Okay, that also powerful. And this is good. Like China and Russia is closer means it is good for India because through Russia we can engage China also. Okay, so if there is a question like if Russia and Chinese linkage is concern for India, definitely not. Okay, it is actually more useful for India to reach on China through Russia. Okay, New Delhi will need to consider how this will impact the close relation with Russia by explicitly equating the Quad. Okay, which is not a military pact. This is what I was said. Okay, Quad is not a military pact. Okay, that is why India is okay with that. China now also appears to be clearly situating India as a part of USA. Now this has been always been concern. Okay, see, in fact, USA is using India to counter China. Please write down. USA is using India to counter China, and India is also okay with it as long we are getting benefits, we are getting weapons, technology, all this. Okay, we have lot of technological pact with the USA. Who can tell me? Well, Lemoya is there. Then 2-3 pacts we have done. Logistic pacts. I think 4 logistical foundation agreements are there, or foundation agreements. Then only they can transfer the weapons. Please note down that or try to find out that. Exclusive clubs again. So, but China is saying that India is a part of US alliance again. But India is not as China is concerned. India is okay with, but India will not join any military pact because you know that India is a part of non-alignment. India created non-alignment movement. Okay. India is not a US country. Okay, but anyway, in many cases we have clarified that we are not part of any military alliance. Okay. India's firm and correct response have been hold on the line, continue deepening ties not only with the US and the Quad but also other Pacific. Okay, now look at this is another problem. Okay, if you are saying that India is aligned with the USA, that what is China's relation with Pakistan? That is directly funding them. Pakistan directly coming and bombarding. Okay, but now please write down in your notebook properly that Pakistan is no more a threat for India. At least in the front line, it is not. It may do some terror attacks and all. That is also reduced. Okay, China is a real threat for India. China is a real threat for India. Okay, that politician will not say. Politician will keep on saying only Pakistan, Pakistan. China is a real threat for India. Two sides will meet on. Okay, peace in the border, very important. Okay, see, China also knows that they don't want. India also know that we don't want war, but we need a peace in the border. Okay, so that we can have a good relations. See, and in fact, if you look by relation, we had a China India were known as brothers. Okay, so once we are powerful, we see the problem is we lack trust with each other. Okay, China is not trusting India. India is not trusting India. Okay, so India is not trusting China. Because of that, there is a concern. Okay, and because of that, our expenditure on the defense is also increasing. That is actually not good. Okay, not good. And thing is, yeah, a war comes. Okay, China is having an upper hand. We can say that. Okay, but it will not be easy for China to enter India and all this. Basically, China is looking for certain areas which they think that the Arunachal Pradesh, for example, Arunachal Pradesh, entire Arunachal Pradesh, they're saying it is there. So in this article, we want to know like what is India-China relation, okay, India-US relation, and China-Pakistan, China-Russia relation. Important organization, of course, AUKUS. Okay, AU means A means Australia, UK, and US. That is what AUKUS is from. That is more like a military. But Quad is not a military. Hence, India is part of that. Okay, and Russia-China relation is good for India. That we will not worry about. Okay. Yeah, see you then in the next session. Bye bye.